We are going to start as usual by importing our raw packages, which means NumPy and pandas. Once you have imported the packages, we are going to call our data source, which in this case is going to be Yahoo Finance. Before to call Yahoo Finance API, you're going to have to install it with the Yahoo Finance API by typing pip install yfinance. You can get more information for this API following this link. I'm going to share the link inside the Jupyter notebook and below the video. Okay, once we have set up our data source, we are also going to call Plotly for the data visualization. It's just going to be a plus because along this video we are going, and in order to test the live market data, we are going to plot it at the same time and to check out how the graph is moving following the updates. Okay, let's pass and let's call Plotly. Once we have called all the different package, what we are going to do, we are going to set up a new section that we are going to call how to get live market data. Live market data per minute. Okay, let's fix it. Okay, now that we have set up a new section, we are going to start by defining our data frame. We can call it df or data. And our data, in order to call the data with Yahoo Finance API, you have to call yf as Yahoo Finance in order to refer to Yahoo Finance. Yf dot download. And inside this function download, if you look which arguments are required, if you look at it, like the first argument gonna be the tickers. That can be either a ticker or list of ticker, but that's gonna be at the end of this video that we are going to look at how to get multiple tickers at once. Then the start date and end date. This methodology gonna be similar to Pandas data reader, which means you're gonna have to set up a start and end date. But in order to get live market data, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the argument period and an interval, which means the interval is predefined to 1 day, but we are going to ask an interval of 1 minute. Yeah, if we type a description, interval required 1 minute. Okay, let's start. The tickers gonna be tickers equal, we are going to call Uber as a ticker, plus the period gonna be like as you want, like that can be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. What I'm going to type here is 5 days, and the interval gonna be 1 minute, and we will print our data frame. Before to start, just like to make a quick recap, right now it's 7:46 here in London. If you look at it, if we type what time is it, 7:46, which means that in New York is actually 2:46 and the market is still open. And yeah, and we are going to test like if we can have the latest market data. If we execute, as you can see, we have the market data per minute. We have 245, 244, 243. The opening correspond like 244 and 0 seconds, and the closing correspond at 243 and 59 seconds. That correspond to the close. That's the volume recorded per minute. As you can see, at the opening of the day, we got a larger amount of volume because all the orders which have been scheduled during the night are happening at the beginning of the day. Okay, let's look a little bit further about the different arguments that we have right here. The first one is the ticker, which means like if you are looking to the different tickers here, what we have Uber as a ticker. The second one is the period, and the third one is the interval. If you want another interval, for instance, if you want 5-minute interval, you have just to change to 5 minutes, and you have your different interval. For instance, if you want 5s, you will see that you have an error, and that's gonna raise you all the different intervals that you can add. You can choose between 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 5 days, 1 week, 1 month, or 3 months. You can also choose, for instance, 15 minutes, execute, and as you can see, you're gonna be able to have market data with an interval of 15 minutes, which means 2:30, 2:45, and the latest market data, which means like 2:49 and 9 seconds. And if we look at the price right now of Uber, if you look at it, Uber is currently like 35.35. We are like on live market data. And if you look at it right here, 35.32. But if you update, as you can see here, right now at 2:49 and 39 seconds, the share price is 35.37, which means that we are directly correlated to the market. And if we take a look on TradingView, let's take a look at how Uber is acting. We are currently at 35.31. Yeah, let's let it update. And for instance, here what we are, okay, we are like 35.30. And let's update our market data and execute. Okay, 35.29, which means like we are 35.30 like half second ago. And as you can see, this API is very efficient because the lag is very, very small, and you can build a live algorithm using this data. Okay, and another application that I want to share with you using this type of data is to let's paste it. Yeah, is to create a chart which is gonna be a live chart, which means that a chart is gonna be updated over time just by rerunning the kernel. And let's do it. For instance, we are just going to do as usual. We are just going to copy and paste the methodology in order to have our figure. Declare the figure, go to figure, and after that, add the different trace. What we'll do, the goal is gonna be to replicate this graph. Okay. Just instead of having different days, we're just gonna select 1 day for the graph to be more efficient. And instead of having like an interval of 15 minutes, we are going to ask for an interval of 1 minute. Okay, let's bring let's copy and paste the graph details from the other graph that we have seen in the part on Plotly. Okay, that's gonna be candlestick. Okay, and we will add a title and x-axis and asking for Plotly to show. Let's do it. Yeah. Instead of Tesla, we are going to use Uber market data, Uber live share price evolution. You can find all these details on how you can add a title in the part based on Plotly, and how to update the x-axis by adding a range slider and a range selector. As you can see here, I changed the range selector. Instead of having it by months or by days, I just change it to minutes. For instance, if you execute right here, that's gonna raise an error, and you can have the different argument that you can add inside your run selector. You can have either months, year, days, hour, minute, or second. Here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have it in minute and hour, like, which means like we can select, for instance, the 3 last hours and ask Plotly to show it. Okay, right here you have the price evolution of Uber during the day. And for instance, if you're on the last 15 minutes, you can see what's happened during the last 15 minutes. And if we compare it to TradingView, okay, as you can see, we have been able to reproduce exactly the same graph right here.